What's cracking, YouTube? In this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to buy a house for free. Now, you might be thinking, well, Jamil, is this one of these houses that doesn't cash flow and is going to just be harder on you to have to keep? No, that's not the case either. In fact, this house that I got for free is going to cash flow anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. I'm going to give you the proof that this happened, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the exact same thing. So make sure you're liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and share it with a friend who wants a free house. Let's dive into it. All right, so here we are, case study on 2801 East Osborne Road. Now, by the time that this video is released, I'll have already closed on this home, and it is probably the best deal that I've done in the last few years. Here's what happened. Pace and I have been doing the No One Left Behind challenge, where people fly in every single month and learn as newbies how to make calls to real estate agents, how to generate deals, how to generate leads, and how to have these conversations. It's one of the most impactful live events I have ever seen, and it's a benefit of being a member of the Sub2 community. And I'm really grateful for this community because it's been having me be in the seat where Pace and I are pretty much kind of going head to head, calling real estate agents trying to get deals. Now, this was one of the coolest deals because when I called the real estate agent, I had realized that this house had been sitting on the market for quite some time. And I asked him, Neil, tell me, what's the story on this house? And he said, Jamil, it's a tough one. You see, this house is beautifully renovated, and it's in one of the best neighborhoods in Phoenix, Arizona. It's in the Biltmore area. And if you ask people, they'll tell you 28th Street in Osborne, that's a good spot. Now, the reason why this house was a little bit harder to sell is Osborne is a busier street, and 28th is also a busier street. And so this house is on the corner of busy and busy. So when we're talking about luxury neighborhoods, which this one is, when you have traffic, busy corner, it's going to be less desirable for buyers to want to buy. And that means that the property value is going to be a little bit lower. Now, on average, in that neighborhood, for the size of home that we're talking about over here, you're usually looking in the $750,000 to $800,000 mark. But because this house was on a busy road, it was appraised very recently at $565,000. Now, you guys might be saying, that's capped, Jamil. No way. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a link in the description to the appraisal so you can actually look at it for yourself. I'm also going to redactedly, because I don't want you guys to know where I live and stuff like that, but I'm going to put the accepted purchase contract in the description as well so that you can see what I actually got this house for under contract. Now, as I was speaking to Neil, the real estate agent, and he told me that they had just recently had a buyer who went all the way through financing and was the reason why this appraisal was ordered, they ultimately fell out. Now, I don't know the reason why the buyer fell out. Lots of things can happen. Sometimes people debt to income ratios change. Somebody does some bonehead thing like goes and buys a car or defaults on a credit card payment or something crazy right before a house is supposed to close. Lender gets spooked and they decide not to fund the loan. And so the deal falls apart. Well, something like that happened over here. But the seller was in a desperate spot. You see, they had gone and already put down a non-refundable deposit on their next home that they were going to live in. And if they weren't able to actually purchase that house in the next few weeks, they were going to lose that entire deposit and their dream of living in a different place. And so selling this home was really, really, really important to them. And they had to do it pretty fast. So the agent said to me, Jamil, we just need a cash offer and we need one that's going to close. And I said, well, you know, Neil, I'm happy to give you one, but it's not going to have a 5 in it. He said, it doesn't matter. Just send me what you got. Now, of course, Neil is a great real estate agent. And so he said to me, I can't represent you on this deal, Jamil. You're going to need to bring your own real estate agent to the table because I want that agent to protect your interests, to be your fiduciary. And I'm going to be protecting my clients and I'm going to be their fiduciary. But what I can tell you is that we really need this deal to close. And so I got to thinking, I've been doing a lot of co-living buying in Arizona. Now this house, perfect for co-living. Why? Because it's on the corner of busy and busy, which means that it's very close to transit. Another thing that it has is a lot of wasted square footage. Another thing that it has is a converted garage, where the garage had been already transferred from a garage to living space. Another thing that it had was every single one of the bedrooms in that house had its own entrance and exit to the outside. So they were already almost individualized suites. That screams co-living to me all day long. Now, because we have all this extra square footage that's being wasted in the living room area. I had my contractors go and figure out how much it was going to cost for me to change this house from a 3-bed, 2-bath into a 7-bed, 7-bath. And we're going to get it done in roughly $70,000. Now, keep that number in mind. What I did is I called the agent and I said, sir, I want to be able to buy this house, but I'm going to have some expenses that I'm going to need in order to do what I want to do with it. He's like, send it in. And I did. I called my lender and I asked, how much will you fund? What loan to value ratio will you fund at if I want to buy this rental? And my lender said 75% LTV. All right. So I know that I have to buy this house at 75% of LTV if I want to buy it with no money out of my pocket. So I took that $565,000 number and I multiplied it by 0.75. And that gave me a number of $420,000. Now here's the cool part. I write the offer at $410,000 because I needed to have a little bit of room for negotiation. Sent it in to the agent and called him the next day and he said, Jamil, bad news. They accepted somebody else's offer. I'm like, shoot. Thought I went a little bit low, but no problem, Neil. You're a great guy. I am still really interested in this house. If anything goes wrong in the other offer that you have, give me a call. Well, a few days later, the phone rings and it's Neil. And he says to me, Jamil, my sellers want to work with you, but they're not going to do the 410. And I said, how about 420? He said, write it up. I wrote it up, I sent it through, and guess what? Accepted at $420,000, which is 75% LTV, which means that I'm going to be able to buy this house with no cash out of my pocket. Even better, I have all of this equity, which takes care of my renovation expenses. So what I did was I brought in a private money lender to fund the renovation. And because I have all this additional equity, they're going to overfund it by a little bit of money so that I can actually get paid to buy this house. Yes, you heard that, friends. I'm getting paid to buy this house. Now, let's do a little bit of math on the cash flow. So, 7-bed, 7-bath. What's that gonna bring in every single week on pad split? Roughly $1,200 per month per room. Now, once we added that all up, we take our mortgage expenses, we take our utility expenses, we take cable, we take vacancy, we get all of the maintenance, all of those expenses that all of you are going to write in the comments. Hey, you forgot about this, you forgot about that, you forgot about property taxes. I mean, all of it, all of it, all of it. Our net cash flow is going to be between $3,000 to $4,000 per month. Friends, if people are telling you there's no deals out there, they're full of crap. The reality is you just need to be able to get on the phone and start making calls to agents. I literally walked in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity, and I'm gonna have $3,000 to $4,000 a month in cash flow. If you wanna learn how to do deals like this, you need to be a member of my Housing Alchemy community. Also, in the description, you're gonna find the appraisal, you're gonna find the accepted purchase contract, and you're gonna find a link to book a call with somebody on my team where I'm going to be able to show you how you can join us to do these types of deals wherever you live in the country, where you can buy a home for free and maybe even get paid for it. And cash flow, $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Co-living, friends, is affordability. It is helping our communities. It's providing great opportunities for people to live in a dignified place. And it's providing incredible cash flow to investors who understand that affordable housing is the next boom for the next 20 years in real estate in the United States. If you aren't working in this niche, you aren't working. Click the link in the description, come join me and learn all about co-living. And friends, if you got any value out of this, it should be this one thing. The deal of a lifetime comes around once a week, so get to work. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, send this to a friend, and get calling.